All right, hey guys, welcome to the first day of your quantum learning, okay? What we're going to talk about today is I'm going to help you increase your learning capacity. How many of you guys would like to feel smarter? Yeah, of course we would. We'd all like to feel smarter because of what we learned, how we learn it. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how you can feel smarter and be smarter, okay? So let's start this by talking about this. How many of you guys have been reading something and you read through it and you read through it and you read through it and you get to the very end and you're like, what did I just read? Yeah? Yeah? I know I've been there. Okay? And so we've all done that. Okay? We've all done that. Now, how much of that did you comprehend then? Yeah, probably not very much. Now, I hope as students and as adults, you would go back and reread that passage. But what happens many times, especially with you guys, is you guys don't go back and read that passage, and so then we don't get any comprehension with that. Now, I know a lot of you guys might say, well, it just wasn't interesting enough. I know that with me, that's what it is with me. If I don't have a book that I'm interested in or a passage that I'm interested in, I can't really get into it. And so, and there's a reason for that. And what that has to do with is this. And so let's try to kind of change gears a little bit. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about how many of you guys, actually I'll tell you guys a story real quick. I've got a nephew that's just now learning how to drive. I took him out in my pickup, it's a stick, because I figured if you can drive a stick, you can drive anything. So we took him out, and I tell you what, driving with him is about the craziest thing in the world. Because and you guys all probably, some of you guys are probably like this, unfortunately. It's kind of scary, but you know, you guys get behind the wheel, and it is just, I mean, both arms are here, and it is just, you guys are just comprehending everything that's going on. Every little movement, everything, you have to concentrate the entire time that you're driving. You're always constantly seeing things, looking, you know, making sure you're not speeding, making sure you're not hitting a curb, making sure you're not hitting another car. You're looking, you're constantly taking little pictures, all right, and you're trying to comprehend that. Now, and that's the way my nephew is. I mean, it's almost to the point where it's scary because you can just tell he's really nervous. And, but he can't take a break. I mean, his brain is just going a mile a minute trying to take all these little pictures. Now, how many of you guys, hopefully not a lot of you guys are in this, I know I am, but I don't know how many of you guys, but how many of you guys have ever driven to school, got here, and been like, man, how'd I get here? Yeah. That's because driving is called a habituated response, okay? And what that means is it's habitual, and so which means you can kind of do it without necessarily concentrating on what you're doing the whole time. Okay, I know I'm like this. You know, you come to school, you got, you know, maybe you got the radio on. You're thinking about this morning. You were talking about Mark McGuire. You know, using steroids and all of that. And so, you know, here I am. I'm thinking about all this stuff. And I'm not really paying attention. I mean, I'm driving. I'm staying on the right side of the road. But because driving is a habitual action, you know, you can do that without, you know, concentrating solely on what you're doing. Now, again, it's just like that passage that you read and you didn't comprehend. Okay? You're making that to be habitual as well. Okay? So, which leads us into this, which is big brain idea number one. It's what? Big brain idea number one, which is this. Okay? There is no comprehension without picturing. Okay? Let's do the actions with me here. There is no comprehension without picturing. Okay? So what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and turn to page 2 in your playbooks. What page? Page 2. And we'll write in here, there is no comprehension without picturing. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that if you're not taking the little pictures in your head, then the comprehension level is not there. It's why when you read a good book and you're into it and you're there the whole time. You know, I know the Friday Night Lights or Bleachers. Bleachers is one of my favorite books. And the whole time I'm reading it, I'm there. You know, I'm sitting in the bleachers and I'm going back through all of the past experiences that I have. You know, and so I've got this vivid picture of what's going on in that book. And I comprehend, I mean, I understood so much of what was going on. I remember so much of that book because I was into it. My brain, I was taking all of these little pictures. So once again, there is no comprehension without picturing. All right, one time with me. There is no comprehension without picturing. Okay, and that's big brain idea number one. It's what? Very good. Now, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. A few other things maybe that'll help you out. If I said a little child ran across a street, a busy street, you got a picture in your head? A lot of comprehension there. Okay. If I said the boy fell off of his bicycle, comprehension there. Okay. All of those things there, because as soon as I say it, it pops up in here. Now you're taking pictures of it. There's comprehension. You understand because you can see it in your brain. You can see that picture in your brain. Okay. Now it's no different than when a little baby, how he learns. You know, for example, you know, he's in his crib and here comes this little furry creature bouncing in. He's like, "What's that?" And he hears Mom say, "Dog, dog," and he hears the thing, "Bark, bark, bark, bark." You know, dog, dog. And so now what he figures out, what a baby figures out, is that little furry creature, he sees the picture of it, and he learns dog. So he learns that must be a dog based upon the picture in his head. So when he sees that, he understands that that's a dog. Okay? All right. What I'd like for you guys to do, okay, is I'd like for you to have a conversation with your table partners, okay, about big brain idea number one. Okay? What I want you to do is I'm going to ask you guys to kind of collaborate, talk about it, come up with ideas on your own, okay? And we will find ourselves back in 52.3 seconds. Go.